I want to make a very, very small comment about the situation with Robert Hur. Robert Hur is the special counsel that was appointed to investigate President Biden. If you ever wanted to face that reality when sometimes you do everything you can to do your job and to do whatever you were supposed to be doing to get things to work and not make anyone happy, this is this is a case study. This guy has gotten hammered by everybody. By everybody.
Might be
It's
doing
like,
something right.
there's like this is how do you get to be hated by everyone at the same
Yeah,
time?
I don't
you
know, that's crazy.
Republicans were coming out on him for not taking criminal action and accusing him of saying, "Are you not paying attention to what happened with the other guy, who was president?" I mean, everybody went back to that basis. You're talking about somebody who, at some point, was just a regular citizen. Never made it to president. At best, as vice president, has certain ladder to, but definitely not as a congressman. Definitely not as a senator. I'm sorry. Definitely not as a private citizen. And that guy is not gonna get persecuted just because you want to call in a nice, old man. And then everybody came down on him. You didn't have to include that into it was, listen, just a freaking mess. But what is important to say, because what Democrats are trying to use this right now to say, well, the conclusion is he's innocent. He said, no, I am not, like the term here is very simple. I am not exonerating this man.
Mm-hmm.
He's as far as I'm concerned, he did all these things, and that is a problem though. You're
Yeah.
agreeing. All you're saying is he broke the law. We just don't believe that he will be persecuted to or get to the point where you're gonna get anybody to agree to having arrested or this is probably one of those things that you're watching and you go, now I just don't trust the system. And like there was a little hope in there that you're gonna say, because that is the question though. When you go to court, the question is, did you break the law?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes, there's going to be some consequences.
Right.
There's going to be some consequences. Financial, there's going to be some criminal, there's going to be civil, there's going to be... this is, how do we all agree, yes, there's information at risk, exposed, broke the law, did all these things, and then the end result is, no, let's not do anything because nobody's going to...
So, I always heard the term, ignorance is not above the law, right? Just because I didn't know something was illegal doesn't make it not illegal, right? But depending on how you word things, right, it changes the definition of it.
So how you word it, or who?
No, how you word it. That too. But so what I'm saying is, if I kill somebody, but it was unintentional, I still killed the person, but that doesn't mean I murdered them. Do you get what I'm saying? So, so then, depending on how you word it, it could have been involuntary manslaughter, which there's still consequences for that. So, I believe if you break the law in some situations, not knowing that this was like something that was premeditated or intentional, then you can find a loophole to where you will be, I guess, not dealing with any, if not no repercussions, at least not serious ones. Which is...
So what is the difference? What do you make about the fact that then the other guy that did have access, like, and technically, right? Like, he had the right to hold the documents. One did something and it's illegal, right? Everybody keeps on saying that. But then this other guy that really did have access to the...
Those are different cases, see?
So it's who? It's not how it's worded.
You can't just mix the two together.
Okay, got it.
We got to talk about one thing at a time.
Okay,
so which
enough.
case are we dealing with? That depends on what my argument is.
That's
You should work for CNN.
You would have done a better job than Don Lemon doing. Having that meltdown.
Just don't get emotional
But I get what you're saying.
about your
That
process.
incredible meltdown. It's like that's like the thank you for smoking movie a moment that you just gave us right now. Listen, the fact of the matter is, you don't have to measure what would be the consequences. You know what I mean? How much crazier does it become if we now have the former president and the current president under criminal investigation and also at the potential risk of criminal charges and stuff like that. But make no mistake about it. Listen, if you black, Latino, if you whatever you want to put yourself into whatever box, if you just happen to be a reasonable person. It's impossible not to see this though as a political move. You know what I mean? Like everything. And by the way, let me say that to the conclusion that this was almost impossible to get somebody to take it to trial. There was also a lot of players involved that broke the law. They have something to do with you're gonna give everybody a pass. You know what I mean? He's ghostwriter. You know what I mean? Ended up having access to information. That guy lied on the oath. You know what I mean? That guy was trying to hide information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do we do with that guy? We just also pretend that didn't happen. And so when you come in so aggressively against Donald Trump,
Yeah.
and what you're doing again, everybody keeps talking about if he gets elected, he's going to weaponize the DOJ.
It's already being weaponized.
That's exactly how.
What is
Like,
happening
how do
right
you
now.
know? Is that
Yeah.
you already done that? Is that so? Listen, the fact of the matter, I think it's an interesting thing for everybody to pay attention to. Not everybody obviously gets into this kind of
Yeah.
conversations, but I'm gonna tell you, my conclusion is that there is definitely ways where you can find. You can be the guy who makes everybody unhappy, and that takes a lot of incredible talent, Mr. Hurt.
Good job.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? The guy appears to be a decent human being, but you don't know what the motives happen to be.